we are taking a fascinating, data-driven look at the wild, totally unpredictable world of viral internet gadgets. I mean, we've all been there, right? Scrolling late at night, totally mesmerized by a video of some perfectly engineered tool that promises to absolutely change our lives. But today, we're actually putting these viral tech finds to the test to see what happens when digital hype meets cold, hard, physical reality.
So, I want you to think about this for a second. Do millions of views actually mean a product is a good, functional piece of engineering? Or are we all just getting hypnotized by clever editing? Because naturally, we assume that if a massive crowd of people are watching and liking a product, it just has to be incredible, right?
Okay, let's dive into this. 65 million. Just wrap your head around that number for a second. That staggering figure is the view count for one single super brief video showing off a robot that simply unscrews jar lids. Think about that. 65 million people stopped whatever they were doing to watch a piece of plastic open a jar. That right there is the massive scale of the viral hype machine we're investigating today.
To make sense of all this chaos, we're going to break this down into 6 quick parts. We'll start with the viral gadget hypothesis, look at the surprisingly useful finds, expose the spectacular failures, check out the completely bizarre inventions, pivot to some very real digital threats, and finally answer the big question, do views actually equal value?
All right, Section 1, the viral gadget hypothesis. Does viral actually mean good?
Moving right to Section 2, surprisingly useful tech finds, because sometimes the hype is actually justified.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer undeniable utility of some of these items. Take the official Apple screen cleaning fluid. It racked up 300,000 views and arrives as this massive 500 milliliter industrial-sized bottle. And yeah, it looks a little murky in the bottle, but literally 2 strokes of a microfiber cloth and bam, you get a pristine screen. A totally solid 9 out of 10. Then you have that robot jar opener we just talked about, the one that captured 65 million eyeballs. For 20 bucks, you place it on a jar, it tightens its grip, these secondary hands secure the glass, and it wildly but perfectly removes the lid. Another 9 out of 10. Even this wardrobe space saver, which somehow compresses the cubic volume of your hanging clothes by a factor of 3.5, completely earns its high score. So yeah, sometimes the internet actually gets it right.
And then we hit the absolute peak of usefulness. Picture this. You want to boot up an old Game Boy Color, but you only have AAA batteries lying around. Well, the internet offers these simple converter cases. Honestly, you'd probably expect a cheap, useless plastic gimmick, but the reality? The flat end of your AAA battery snaps into the flat end of this high-quality shell, creating a literal perfect fit for a AA slot. It is absolutely flawless. It earns a super rare 10 out of 10 for doing exactly what it promises. No more, no less.
But now, we shift our focus to Section 3, the spectacular gadget failures. This is where hype crashes into reality.
Just look at how fast the scores drop off here. First up, we've got an acrylic laptop stand for an exercise bike. It pulled in 120,000 views, costs a staggering $60, and the second you install it, it literally scrapes the material right off your bike. Plus, it's incredibly wobbly and doesn't even sit close enough to let you type comfortably. Or, oh, how about the heavy-duty magnetic window cleaner? It's supposed to clean both sides of your window at once using these incredibly strong magnets, but the connection is so tenuous that unless you have paper-thin single glazing, the whole thing just falls apart and breaks.
And this next one brilliantly illustrates the whole problem. It's the viral phone lockbox, boasting over 6 million views. The big promise is that it cures your phone addiction by locking your device away for a set amount of time. But let's look at the reality. It features a screen protector with these specific holes meant for making emergency calls. But because of those holes, you can literally just sit there and play an entire mobile game while the phone is supposedly locked in its little jail. It fundamentally fails its one core purpose, making it easily the world's dumbest case. A dismal 2 out of 10.
Which leads me to this absolute gem of a quote from the source material regarding a viral vegetable slicer. It feels like some sort of medieval torture device. I mean, you place your veggie inside, slam a blade down, and just kind of hope for the best. The problem? It only actually works if your vegetable miraculously perfectly fills the inner chamber. If it doesn't, you just end up with a mangled, unappetizing mess. It's yet another visually satisfying video totally masking a mechanically flawed product.
Moving right along to Section 4, bizarre and unnecessary inventions. These are the wonderfully absurd ones.
I am absolutely obsessed with the step-by-step process for this viral banana core. To use this highly surgical tool, you must first literally straighten the banana in a plastic holder, which I'm pretty sure most of us have never done in our lives. Then, you push this plastic core through the middle, twist it, use thumb suction to pull out the center, and finally, pump the hollowed fruit full of Nutella using a special hopper. It's an incredibly messy, wildly overcomplicated hassle. But honestly, once you slice it, the resulting Nutella to banana proportion is surprisingly beautiful. Bizarre? Yes. Completely unnecessary? Definitely.
But then we get to the bed cooking pot. It's a self-heating pot, so you can supposedly cook your meals while binge-watching Netflix in bed. And to be fair, it does exactly what it says on the tin, heating up to 200 degrees Celsius. But let's just pause and look at the glaring logical flaws here. The power cord isn't even long enough to reach the floor. But more importantly, you still have to leave your bed to get the water, and you still have to leave your bed to get a fork. So why on earth would you risk boiling a pot of noodles directly on your lap? It is a novelty that just completely ignores basic human logic.
Let's move to Section 5 and see how this builds into something far more serious. The real digital threats. Way beyond the hype.
Because, while we can sit back and laugh at spending $20 on a messy banana core, the digital junk that forcefully breaches our lives is a completely different story. As our source reveals, the internet isn't just full of overhyped plastic, it is teeming with active, dangerous threats. Scammers are basically reinventing themselves daily. We're seeing phishing emails flooding in at over 200 a day. And the truly terrifying part? It's not even just about getting tricked into typing your password anymore. Bad links can trigger silent, background file downloads that gain access to your entire machine without you ever realizing it. They're out there successfully hijacking massive YouTube accounts, even when proper two-factor authentication is turned on, often by hiding malware right inside seemingly legitimate Facebook and Google ads. But thankfully, there are legitimate tools out there to actually fight back. The source-tested Guardio, which is a really simple browser extension that acts as a seamless background shield. So instead of waiting for a virus to strike, it scans all your links before you click them and actively checks files prior to download. It even traces the sources of those super annoying, intrusive pop-up notifications to make sure they aren't coming from malware and clears them right at the source. It's an affordable digital shield that actually does what it promises, securing up to 5 users on just one account.
Which brings us to our final takeaway. Section 6. Do views equal value? The final verdict. So, the crucial point is how evenly split all these products really are. When we look at gadgets boasting millions of views, the reality is that they fall into roughly 3 buckets. A chunk of them are genuinely useful tools, like our 10 out of 10 battery converter. Another chunk are just bizarre, messy novelties, like the banana core. And a massive slice of the pie is made up of spectacular failures, like that 6 million view phone lockbox that you can still totally play games through.
And the data leads us to one undeniable truth. Views measure spectacle. They do not measure quality. Social media algorithms are literally designed to reward the visually extreme. A machine flawlessly ripping a lid off a jar? Visually captivating. A person struggling to shove a straight piece of plastic through a curved banana? Also visually captivating. The algorithm simply doesn't care if the product actually improves your life or if it's just a piece of plastic junk destined for a landfill.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to take away from our explainer today. The next time you're scrolling late at night and you see some shiny new gadget with 65 million views and thousands of comments, I want you to ask yourself, are you buying a genuine solution to a real problem, or are you just buying into the spectacle? Thank you so much for exploring the viral gadget illusion with me, and I'll see you in our next analysis.